And welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to the channel.
Okay, now say it one more time.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel.
Alright, y'all, that was my baby brother speaking. And I was gonna go to sleep. I honestly was. You can stay in the room if you want to. But you gotta be quiet so there's no like interruptions, you know. But this is what my YouTube channel is based off of. And since mom wanted me to tell you what it was, that way you didn't think I did role plays. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, because I never find videos of you.
Right, because I'm not a big YouTuber, Isaiah, and what you watch on YouTube isn't what I do on YouTube, so it's not gonna pop up. Anyway, my bad. I'm explaining my YouTube stuff to my younger brother. But this would be, what if Naruto had the demon inside of Asta? If that makes sense. So basically, how I'm gonna set this up is, the demon, okay, because you already know the demon's backstory related to Asta's mom and Asta. So basically, how I'm gonna set this up as, I'm gonna say when the demon unlocked his ability, it was the same time the Nine Tails attack had happened, like at night, and just relax. Well, Isaiah, I don't hold on. I'll explain it later. So basically, what happens is, the demon, like when he awakens his ability, he like opens a portal. Like I'm gonna say, like, he still has his anti-magic, but I'm gonna say he was able to open like a portal of sorts, like an anomaly base happened, like basically that. And he falls through the portal, and instead of falling into the grimoire like he was supposed to, he falls into the seal that Minato. He falls into the seal, but he fell in as a dark mist. And since Minato and Kushina were too weak to do anything, the only thing that they could do was steal the Nine Tails inside. So when the Nine Tails got in there, he sees this other being, and it's filled with malice and hatred, kind of like the Nine Tails. But the only difference is that this being hates the Nine Tails as well. So the Nine Tails is the Nine Tails is trying to figure out what he is. And later along down the line, I'm gonna say when Naruto decided that he was going to help Hinata with those bullies, I'm gonna say that those bullies were a little bit more skilled, and they did more than just beat him up. And my GTA poster is crooked, Isaiah. Not Isaiah, but you people, you took it down. Now it's crooked. Now I have to fix that. So okay. So as Naruto runs over there. Now Naruto is a little more timid. Not like timid, but a little bit more cocky. I'm gonna say he's done some training. But so when Naruto is getting beat up by the bullies, he's getting beat up a lot worse than what he did in canon. Like a lot worse. I'm talking about bad. And Naruto's desire to win this fight, he was able to use the sword, the one sword that Asta was able to use. But let me just clear this up. First off, just like Asta, Naruto has no chakra. Instead of staying anti-magic, he converted itself into anti-chakra, basically. So the only chakra that Naruto has in him is the Nine Tails chakra. That's it. So if Naruto wants to use a chakra enhanced ability or anything like that, he would need to befriend the Nine Tails, and he would have to, because the thing that's sealed inside of him, like the demon, I don't know the name of it, so my bad if I'm getting this, yeah, whatever. Thing that's sealed inside of him isn't sealed, so he can come out whenever he pleases. He's just staying inside of Naruto. So mostly to figure out the fuck the Nine Tails is. So basically, Naruto summons the sword, and he's like, this must be like my jutsu or something. And basically he hits one of the kids with it, and it immediately almost drains all their chakra. So they get scared and they run off. But Naruto turns and looks at Hinata, but Hinata doesn't want to get near Naruto. And Naruto was like, I just saved you, like, and she thanks him and she dips off, doing Hinata stuff. But Naruto just sees that as people are just going to be people, and no one's ever going to trust me. Not now, probably not ever. So Naruto goes back home, and for the longest period in time, Naruto, all he did was wake up and go into the woods and train with that sword all the time. He trained, meditated, he tried to get a little bit of chakra. It didn't work, and the chakra that he did get, it wasn't his chakra, it was the Nine Tails, and he did it by accident. So one day Naruto was meditating. This is like the day before the school had started. One day Naruto was meditating, and he got into the plane where he would be able to talk to the Nine Tails. But instead of talking to the Nine Tails, he talks to the demon. And at first, like, Naruto's like, oh, this is just a dream. And then, like, he realized, like, this clearly doesn't feel like one, though. So, like, the demon was like, one of these days, like, you're going to be stronger than everyone, and I can help you get there. And Naruto's like, the demon was like, all you have to do is shake my hand. And you can become Hokage or whatever you want to be. And Naruto he puts out his hand and they shake hands. And the demon shrinks down and he starts teaching him and showing him how to move the blades and everything. And he tells him like he'll have a secret ability that will enhance his strength and speed, but he can't use it all the time because if anyone found out about it, that could mean the end of their little secret.
Sad.
And Naruto, thinking that this is the only other person that's going to ever trust him, decides that that's this nigga just said sad. Yo, I just peeped that. Yes, I said Naruto's story is sad. It's okay. I understand. So Naruto, believing that this is the only other friend that he's ever gonna have, says okay. And then the Nine Tails chimes in, and the dude, like, okay, so first off, since we know the demon isn't that old, at least I don't think he's that old. But from my understanding, the Nine Tails is far older than almost everybody in the show. So I'm gonna say the demon and the Nine Tails have like a hatred for each other, but a older brother, baby brother type of vibe. Like, he doesn't want to be bothered with him, but if push comes to shove, he'll step in and help him out. So the Nine Tails like opens his eye and he was like, if anything, nothing's gonna. Huh? Dude, I'm thinking, dude, talking to me. So if anything, the Nine Tails opens his eye and be like, if anything, if they try to take you out of him, they're gonna end up unleashing me, and we all know they don't want that. So if anything, they're not gonna want to risk it. What the fuck is that noise? Oh, that's not okay. So Naruto wakes up and he starts like training again, and this time he can hear the demon's voice in his head telling him what to do and how to like get stronger. So Naruto, for the longest time, did nothing, like for a whole day, he did nothing but push-ups and sit-ups. That's it. And he can only still summon that one sword, that one fat sword, and he was barely able to lift it. So he has to get stronger to lift that sword. And Naruto goes home and his whole body's sore, and he just falls out on the floor. And he wakes up realizing and remembering that he has school today. Holy shit. So he gets up and he runs out the house and he's running to the school. And the demon, like the dude in his head, like the demon in his head was like, wow, you're really late. If only there was some way there you can get fast. If there only was some way you can get faster. And Naruto's like, not right now. I'm kind of in the middle of something here. And Naruto opens the door to the classroom, and I say, I'm gonna need you to relax. That's starting to get annoying, okay? So, like, Naruto opens the door to the classroom, and the person he sees in the back, he's sitting with no one, is, well, Hinata. And Sakura, since Naruto arrived late, Sakura is sitting next to Sasuke, Ino's sitting, yeah. So that leaves an open seat next to Hinata. So Naruto walks back there and apologizes for being late. And then, like, the whispers start happening. That's the kid with no chakra. How did he even make it into the school? Why is he even in the school to begin with? And Sasuke looks at him and he stands up and he's like, how are you in the school if you have no chakra? And then Naruto's like, he has no chakra, and he points to Lee, but Lee was like, yeah, but the difference between me and you is that I've done several years of training. I've trained years for this, and you haven't, from my knowledge, trained at all. And Naruto was like, I'll prove you all wrong one day by becoming Hokage. And he sits down, and Sasuke was like, it's such a pitiful dream. You should give up on it. And then, like, Naruto, like, as he sits down, Hinata kind of moves, like, a little bit further away from him, knowing that that sword that he holds drains chakra. She found that out because she used her Byakugan. So she kind of scoots over just a little bit. And Naruto looks at her and was like, hey, you okay? And she's like, yeah. And she scoots over just a little bit more. And Ino's like, you're pretty sad when the most quietest girl, the most nicest and quietest person in the class doesn't want to be next to you. And Naruto, like, kind of gets that realization. And he was like, oh, I understand. And he was like, I understand if you want to move. I'm going to be back here anyway. Doesn't matter. And the demon in his head was like, why don't you just, show them what you can do? And the Nine Tails was like, that wouldn't be advisable given the fact that he has no chakra. And Naruto was like, yeah, though, but you have chakra, so if I use your chakra, and Nine Tails was like, no, not at all. The only time that I only let you use my chakra is if you're in danger, because if you're in danger, I'm in danger. Simple. And Naruto, looking back on it, he does realize that the Nine Tails really only helped it, he didn't do anything, in his life at all. The only time he did something was when Naruto accidentally tapped into the Nine Tails chakra that one time, and it was for 2 minutes. So Naruto just sits there in the back of the class, basically talking to himself, and no one knows who he's talking to. So toward the end of the class, everyone's calling him a freak, and he should just leave the school. And Naruto he was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. And basically he drops out the same day that the school starts. And basically I'm gonna say, cause I don't know if when the teams get assigned, I don't know how long that took. I'm gonna say it took about a year. So Naruto's been out of school for about a year. And within that year, huh?
I said sadness.
Sadness. Dude, go on. Stop saying that. So within that year, Naruto has trained hard enough to master that sword that he has, and he's way stronger than he's not stronger than Lee. He's nowhere near stronger than Lee, but he's almost, if you fall off this bed, dude, you gotta stop doing that. This bed sits way too high for you to be leaning off of it like that. But he is, if he uses, okay, so hear me out, just hear me out. He is not faster nor stronger than Lee. But since he has that sword, since he has that sword, if he's able to hit Lee with it, whatever chakra, well, we know he has or little to no chakra, but whatever chakra that he has is going to get drained. Because, as they stated in Naruto, everyone has chakra. And from my understanding, if everyone has chakra, that means Guy and Lee clearly has something keeping them alive. So, yeah. And, Naruto, after, that happens, they start talking about, the teams, and Naruto gets put on Team 7, and Sasuke was like, that doesn't make sense. Naruto dropped out. And they're, I forgot their class, teacher or whatever name. he was like, Naruto didn't drop out. He just doesn't come to school. Naruto's done every exam out of school. He's done every physical exam, reading exam, written exam. He's done everything out of school, and he's aced it all. And Sasuke was like, how? He hasn't even been here for the lessons. And he was like, we don't know. He's clearly just smart, I guess. Little did they know it was the Nine Tails giving this man the answers, because the other guy, the demon, was basically giving him the wrong answers. And the Nine Tails got mad at the demon for giving him the wrong answers and gave the demon the right answers. So the demon gave Naruto the right answers. I think I might rename this What If. I think it's just gonna be What If Asta was Naruto.
And I'm gonna have a YouTube channel. I'm gonna have a YouTube channel.
You not, Isaiah, not right now. You Isaiah, I'm not gonna make you a YouTube channel right now, because I can't.
I know, I'm just telling you. So.
But you don't have. Yeah, anyway, I might try to rethink of a name for this What If. This might not even come out today anyway. So, like, Naruto walks into the classroom and a lot of people see like these huge differences in like he's not wearing like baggy clothes and he's pretty swole now. Decently sized for a little kid. So he sits down and Sasuke was like, well, Sakura was like, I shouldn't have to be on a team with someone that has no chakra at all. And even Lee has some chakra. And everybody starts laughing, and Naruto looks over at Sakura, and he was like, says the one that's simping over one guy. Says the one that's fondling over a guy for no reason, that has no interest in her at all, and literally can care less about her. And Sakura was like, she basically like, who the hell do you think you're talking to? And Naruto's like, I'm clearly talking to the only person in the classroom with pink hair, and last time I checked, that's you. And aren't you a Konoichi? As in, you heal people? So your main role on this entire team is support. Not offense, support. So learn a support role and stand your place. And Ino was like, dang, he told you, Sakura. And Naruto turns and looks at Ino and was like, your main ability is switching your mind with other people's. You can't, if you try to do that, and your team isn't there to defend your body, you will die. They can kill you. They can come over into your body and murk you, and you wouldn't know until you try to go back to your own body. You know that, right? And then I'm gonna say, like they start leaving the room, and Lee was like, that's not very nice, and Naruto was like, I don't fucking care. Like, what makes you think I care? And Sasuke, Sasuke starts dying laughing. And Naruto turns and looks at Sasuke. And Sasuke was like, what, you got something to say to me? And Naruto's like, oh, of course. Last remaining Uchiha. And Sasuke goes from laughing to dead serious, like, I will fucking kill you. And Naruto looks at him like, I would love to see you try. And I'm gonna say Kakashi arrives a little bit earlier. So
It's getting good.
Kakashi gets there and he's like, well, now we don't want our two teammates fighting here, now do we, Sakura? Apparently that's your name. Meet up on the roof. And Sasuke was like, no problem. And he dips out the window, basically. Like, he goes out the window to go up to the roof. And Naruto, since he has no chakra at all, meaning that he can't tree walk or anything like that, he has to use the stairs. And when he gets up there, everyone's like up there already. And Sakura's like, it took you long enough. And Naruto was like, are you completely forgetting the fact that you are a fucking healer? And she's like, you don't have to keep reminding me. I said, you can leave if you want to. You don't have to stay here. You know that, right?
It is not cool, dude. Not cool.
So, Naruto basically, Naruto turns and he looks at Sakura one more time. And he's like, okay, I just have to make sure this is the same person from before. And he asks them, Naruto's, okay, really quickly, Naruto's mental state is getting affected by the demon and the Nine Tails due to the fact that the Nine Tails isn't like, I mean, not the Nine Tails. The demon isn't actually sealed away, and since he uses since it's like it went from anti magic to anti chakra because he changed entire dimensions by his since he changed like entire dimensions, he's slowly but surely definitely eating away at the seal. Make sure to shut my door all the way. So the Nine Tails is slowly but surely influencing Naruto, whether he likes it or not. But the Nine Tails doesn't really care. So Naruto is definitely getting more aggressive toward everyone. So Naruto was like, I'm gonna like when he gets to Naruto's becoming Hokage wasn't just like his thing. His main goal was to rule over everything, no matter what the cost, and he would kill anyone that got in his way. And like Kakashi was like, what? And like Sasuke starts laughing, and he was like, "So you'll be able to kill me if I got in your way?" And Naruto looks at him with the most aggressive stare ever. And Naruto's like, I'm kind of getting tired of the fact that the only reason why you think you're stronger than me is because you have a fucking shining gun. Like that's actually gonna be able to do something when you only have the one Tomoe. Dude, I can beat you with a fucking pair of chopsticks. And Sasuke was like, "You wanna go?" And Kakashi's like, "This could be interesting." And he takes him to the training ground, and he was like, "Y'all two are gonna have basically just a 1v1, see what happens." So when the fight starts, Naruto's using a kunai, and he's clearly getting outmatched by Sasuke. Like strength and speed wise, Naruto has him, but in skill wise, Naruto's getting outplayed because the only person that he actually ever fought against was the demon. The demon didn't have any like what's the name? So Sasuke took it one step further, like when the fight was almost over. Sasuke took it one step further and he uses a fireball jutsu. And when the fireball shoots at him, Kakashi sees that this can kill Naruto, and he tries to stop it, but like it basically disappears out of like nowhere. And then like they see the sword, and they see like Naruto, like a part of Naruto's body is covered in black. And Naruto's like, well, since the cat's out the bag, might as well keep going. And he disappears and reappears in front of Sasuke, and Sasuke, like, before he can even say what, he gets smacked to the floor with the sword. And since the sword drains chakra, like half of his entire chakra store goes away. And Kakashi was like, "Naruto, that's enough." And Naruto's like, "No." And he puts the sword to his throat, to Sasuke's throat, and was like, "Just keep in mind that every time you think that you can beat me, I will always and always will be one step ahead of you, Uchiha or not." And Naruto, like the stuff around Naruto disappears, and Naruto pulls the sword back into his hand. Like he can summon them through his body, or he can just make them summon in front. But since the sword was pointed out in front of him, he was just made it go back into his hand. And Sasuke was like heated, like he was mad. And when Sakura goes to try to help Sasuke up, Sasuke gets up, but he pushes Sakura away, and he's like, "This is bull," and he disappears. And Naruto's like, "Wasting my time," and he leaves. And then Nine Tails is like, "You could have handled that better, don't you think?" And Naruto's like, "I don't have time to be influenced by little people like him. I have bigger fish to fry." And the demon was like, "Oh yeah, like who?" And he was like, "The Hokages. If I can kill all the Hokages, I can get their seats, and I can rule the world the way I want it to be ruled." And Kurama was like, "Oh really? What happened to becoming Hokage the righteous way?" And Naruto was like, "I learned a long time ago that the people in this world don't care for people like me. Every ninja strives to be Hokage. Only a select few that have become candidates, And even when you become a candidate, it's not a guaranteed spot. I'm done trying to become Hokage. I want to become the leader of the entire world. All under one flag. That way, it'll be easier to control. And the Nine Tails is like, this could get interesting very quickly. And this is where I'm in this part off. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, drop a like. If y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe. No, this is a bit random, and this is just something that I wanted to put out. Anyway, this has been Shinobi, and peace out.